Okay, I've got this Braun Century 2 Series lift I'm going to take out of this van. Gonna try to turn it into a camper. So, anyway, gotta pull some wires and then see if we're gonna unbolt it. So, this is obviously the main power coming. I'm not sure if there's another ground, but obviously this is bolted down multiple spots to the chassis, so I would presume that's grounding it for the negative. But anyway, you know, if you have your power, if you know there's power, you can make sure that, see, boom, unhook that little guy, controller unit of some kind, and power is off. So under here, I've got a breaker, so I'm wondering if I can just flip this off. Of course, it might just be a fuse. It might just be a resettable fuse, so I'm not 100% sure. I believe this is the secondary power there, so I might just take that out for now. All right, took off the power that goes to the accessories. Well, I took the whole battery connection off, the positive just in case, and that went to something else like the TVs and the VCR, the old school electronics are in there, so maybe that, I don't really know what all is hooked up to what, so just in case. All right, so I'm just going here, just verifying again that there is no power, and it doesn't look like there is, so light did not come on, so I can undo that and know that it is not still hooked up to some secondary battery or something. So just things you should look out for, especially on a new van to you. You're not sure, you know, what everything is yet, what everything's connected to, I should say. All right, so there are these metal plates that it's attached to. So I think I'll just have to take those 4 out at the end. I'll hold it in while I do the bolts that are going through the bottom of the van. So here we are under the van. You can see how these have been, this thing's bolted to the frame. Very heavy duty. A couple sets of these over here as well. So there are a number of them. So we're just gonna start with the most visible, see what happens. Well, these ones happen to be 14 millimeter. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna need someone to hold a wrench on the top part of the bolt on the inside of the van. We'll see in a moment. The answer is no, you do not need someone in the top for these ones anyway. There you go. Everything coming off, no problem. So these other 3 main bolts appear to need someone holding a wrench or a way to at least jam a wrench on the top of that so that it does not spin. So only this first one came out without assistance from above. I have employed my daughter involuntarily into this, but she will do awesome. She's gonna hold the top here.
Wait, so you just
gotta keep it while and it's gonna wanna like jerk. Like, wham. Okay.
We will see how
Alright. We'll find out in a moment. Ready? Hang on tight. Can you feel it? Yes. Yay. That worked. Good job, honey. I'm proud of you. Okay, there's 3 more. Alright, so we moved over here. Hopefully, we're on the same one. You feel it? Yes. So easy. Okay. There's one more, it's hidden. Alright, this one was the one hidden under the metal flappy guy. Okay, I'm gonna try these here. There's still 2 bolts sticking through with no nuts on them that I took off. But I think that they might just come out with this. So I'm gonna remove the power. Even though it's disconnected, I'm gonna physically unbolt it. Alright, so I just pulled these out. I did not even have to put a wrench behind them. I think there was enough tension on them that they held the nut hard enough that it you're able to pull out the bolt, you know, spin it free. So now I'm to there. I'm trying to be careful so this doesn't fall on me, but I think that those 2 bolts will still be holding it through. So I don't think it'll be necessarily loose yet. There might even be more bolts that I'm not yet prepared for. We'll see, we'll see. So I'm gonna use both hands and not video it. Just as an example. This This one's in there tight. Woo. I'm spinning on that one. Okay. Must be too big somehow. The 14 mil, this is 14 millimeters too small. This might be good old fashioned American inches. Or fractions of inches, anyway. So that one turned out to be a 9, these are actually 9/16, I guess. So, there we go. Alright, so, the only thing I think holding it in now are the 2 bolts that I was not able to extract. There's no nut on the other side underneath, but they're just still through the floor. Because if you see here, this is pretty loose now. So I think only those bolts, the fact that they're through the floor is what, well, they're through the frame actually, that's why they're not going anywhere yet. So there's not enough clearance up here to lift up, I don't think. We'll try it from the inside. If not, I gotta cut those bolts and just have less to clear. I think we'll be able to get them out if I cut them and then tap them up probably. All right, that's the plan for now. Okay, so here's an example of the bolt that it's loose, but it's too tall. The way the lift plate is, this is too tall to lift it out through the frame. So I'm gonna cut it, and hopefully that is enough. We'll see. Stepping up to the big guns. Went and got some new saw blades to burn this one up last night. I think I went too fast with it, and I think if you took this panel off, you could get to those bolts. I don't really want to take any of the lift apart. I'm trying to keep it together. Could be that you just took those off and then it'd be super easy. I don't know. I don't really want to find out. I've already started cutting through this bolt down here, and I think with the right saw blade, we'll get through it pretty quick. The unfortunate thing is you just can't reach it with the, and then I was in a hurry last night, so I burned up this blade, but this is a cheapy guy. So this one, I got a couple of these, so we should be able to get through these. All right, made short work of that with the new saw blade. Kind of learned the hard way that having good blades makes all the difference, even if you have good equipment. Having cheap blades, you know, no offense to Harbor Freight, where I throw that other one. I had the Warrior bit on there, our Warrior blade, and burned right through it. It was brand new too, and it just didn't do the trick. All right, so I'm gonna move over to this one. Anyway, I know that stuff's obvious if you're in the trades. I am not. All right, so that bolt was a little tighter in there. It almost looked welded. It wasn't moving at all, so I had to go underneath, tap it up with a hammer, and that totally worked. So now it's exposed and can cut it off. So the problem is that these bolts are massive because they're going through the frame rails. So this is how big they are. So just cutting the bottom won't even give you enough room. You still have, you know, good number of inches before you can even pull the bolt out through the floor, which you don't have clearance. That's the problem. So far, this seems to be the job for the Sawzall with the metal blade. So all right, we got that one cut off, no problem. So we should be able to pull this, tap that back down through, and this should be free. So that was actually really fast. I was a bit more patient, went slower so I didn't burn up the blade, you know, melt it, get too hot, you know, it's kind of like a drill bit in the metal. So I did better that time, and it was really quick. So I wish I had done that last night. Thought of that. Just underestimate. I overestimate all the time. I overestimate cheap parts here, like bits and saw blades. All right, so hopefully this is loose now. As far as I can tell, it seems to be. I'm just kind of pulling on it. So I'll go open the door, see if we can get it out. Hopefully I can do this with one person. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find out. Yep, it feels pretty loose now. You see, Chip the whole thing now. Yeah, okay, so that was the case. And now I just gotta get it out. More complications. One, I think there is a ground cable still attached somewhere here. And then this guy here. So this is the problem. So these support brackets on the step. It's one on each side, 4 bolts total. So if I go to move this, these are bolted to the front part, which goes up and over, but then they're inside of this. So I either need to take these out altogether, and I didn't need to do these. I need to do these 4, or I need to unbolt these if I can get a, you know, just a wrench on there. And it's tight though, so I'm gonna have to find that out in a moment. All right, so this ratcheting guy fit up here, and I was able to get that nut loose because it's a carriage bolt, so it's really the only place to loosen it is underneath. So that works. This is right above the step. These are the brackets. So if you have brackets like this is what's going on. So that's good. That's a good start. So I really didn't need to do these 2 on each side. I just need to do these back behind here. I mean, eventually you'll want to take these out, but as far as just getting the lift out. All right, I'll do that. But these bolts are really long, so it's tough to, you can't really get them through there, but they have these plastic caps here that I realized you should pop those out, and then it fit, be able to get it enough wiggle room there to get them out. So here's another example. Wiggle that out, and should work in a moment here. Either way, it's already over that lip, so just gotta kind of get that out. Let's see. We'll get you out here in a second. It worked. The other one. Probably just gotta pull that down while we do it. All right, here's the ground that I was talking about. Ground cable coming off. I couldn't find the. Didn't seem to have an external hookup like the hot wire did, so just traced it underneath, unbolted it. It was just a self-tapping screw, and then just fed it back through. And like if you were in a hurry and you didn't care about, you know, you're just gonna throw this in the dump, then you just cut this stuff and keep going. I was trying to like keep it in one piece so that potentially someone could use it after this. So the main concern once you have it unbolted, of course, is that it's super heavy. So I went inside and laid it down, and it was still, you know, kind of sketchy, just with one person. But 2 people wouldn't be that big a deal. Also, with one person, obviously the main thing, even with 2 people, I think the main thing is just gonna be how to get it out, you know, without. It's so heavy that if you hit the doors, you're gonna rip the doors, you know, the paneling or dent. You can see how it dented the door in a previous life. So hopefully we can work that out without causing any more destruction or damage to the van. So that's the trick right now. I'll let you know what I decide. All right, so my daughters are trying to escape. They helped me push it out. They're super helpful. It was really heavy. One person shouldn't do this, you know, just for the safety of your abdominals or your back. So they helped me just slide it. We got to a certain point where it would just slide down the ramp. You know, barely clears the doorway. So that's kind of the main thing, is just shimmying it as you go. And yeah, there it is. Finally out of the van. Stand it up. I'll get some dolly boards, and hopefully I'll be able to put it. It's not supposed to rain today, I don't think, so just stick it out here for now. Hopefully someone will come and get it. If not, it'll go to the garage, and that'll be that. All right, when you go take these out, have a couple people. I had to have my daughters help me a couple times, actually, even just to move it once we got it out. It was so heavy that I didn't feel comfortable even doing it myself. Just for like, you know, there's no point getting a hernia just to move this thing. Be a lot more expensive than even a van, a hernia operation, right? So anyway, there it is, out. And also, wherever you take these out, be prepared for it to sit there. I'm not 100% sure how you would, I guess, like try and put the trailer up against it and just tip it over into the trailer. I don't know. It's gonna be wild, but it's gonna sit here for now, and unfortunately I can now drive my van. All right, we've got the lift out. You can see it there outside the van. Here's what remains. I don't know that I would do a lift van again. What are you barking at? It was quite a bit of work. It didn't take a whole lot of time. I don't know, maybe 3 hours total of actually working on it. But you need a couple people. You definitely need some tools. You might need, decent tools. And if you have any limitations regarding any of that stuff, maybe skip any vans with the lift. That would be kind of, I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, it's easy. It's not. It's heavy, and you needed some heavy duty tools. But it's doable. And you also have this left over, kind of the ugly carpet situation. Ignore that. That's just something that was added that had nothing to do with the lift. But all right, that's my 2 cents. Hope that helped show you what you're getting into.